The day I returned to the country, my plane exploded. I had just strapped on my parachute when a fragile-looking woman, like a porcelain doll, suddenly rushed over and grabbed my parachute bag. "What the hell are you doing?" I was furious and about to give her a piece of my mind, but she suddenly pressed herself against me. Her soft lips crashed right into mine. Damn it, I've been with my girlfriend for 7 whole years, and I haven't even tasted the lipstick on her lips. Looking at her, it was like she wanted to swallow me whole. Holy crap, where are your hands going? You think you can do whatever you want just because you're pretty? Just as I was boiling with rage and about to push her away, several huge, burly men approached. Their eyes scanned the area a few times. "She's not over here." He definitely wouldn't dare to just jump, especially since he's heavily injured. He must be hiding in the crowd. Let's keep looking. I watched them search for a while before storming off in a huff. I was a bit bewildered. Right then, another group of people showed up. I noticed them reaching one hand inside their jackets. That posture. Do they have guns? Suddenly, a fierce glare locked onto me. The guy shot me a glance. It's just a couple having a tearful goodbye. They're not a threat. The woman's back was hidden by the parachute, which perfectly concealed her identity. He must have escaped somewhere else. If we fail this time, the higher-ups definitely won't let us off the hook. Looks like we need to search harder. Don't let the Black Dragon Syndicate find him first. Listening to their conversation, I couldn't help but think the passengers on this flight were way too weird. Everyone was looking for someone. And this woman was actually using me, thinking about how she was still violating my personal space. I raised my hands to push her away, but she grabbed my wrists and smoothly placed my hands on her waist. "Hey, who do you think you are? Back off! The plane is about to crash! Do you hear me?" The leader of the thugs suddenly stopped in his tracks. He turned his head and looked at me. "Boss, we don't have much time left. We need to get out of here. What are you looking at?" He followed the boss's gaze toward me. That's when I realized their eyes weren't fixed on me. They were staring at the mysterious woman in front of me. Crap, we've attracted their attention. At that moment, the man they called boss pulled a pistol from his jacket and quickly pulled the trigger. The woman backhanded a blanket right at him, then dragged me down as she jumped out. She was so fast there was no time to react. The parachute blossomed in midair. The two of us were instantly suspended in the sky, keeping a fair distance from the plane. "It's her. She's getting away. Open fire." Bang bang! Gunshots echoed through the air. Watching our parachute descend and drift further away, the boss was burning with furious indignation. "Go after them now." His men quickly strapped on their parachutes and jumped out in unison. I never could have imagined that I'd be dragged into this deadly mess so absurdly. Just who exactly is this woman in front of me? To be hunted down by multiple gangs like this? What is her background? Just as I was about to interrogate her, I realized her eyes were tightly shut. The hands that had been gripping me tightly suddenly went slack. Her entire body went limp. "Hey, don't fall asleep on me. I'm scared to death right now." I hugged her tighter. "Did you pass out from fear?" "Hey, oh no." That last attack tore the parachute, and this woman has completely blacked out. I screamed internally. Oh my god, good lord, am I really going to die here? Below us was the vast, endless ocean. I silently prayed that this parachute could hold out just a little bit longer. I don't want to die. I don't want it all to end this early. Ending my life in such a ridiculous way is definitely not what I want. But the parachute was plummeting at a terrifying speed. In my 20-something years of life, I've never been this unlucky. Every crazy thing is happening to me today. Before I could think any further, there was a massive splash. We both crashed hard into the ocean. Water sprayed everywhere. Caught off guard, I swallowed a few mouthfuls of seawater. My head was spinning. I gasped heavily for air. Thank God I know how to swim, otherwise I'd be dead meat today. After thrashing around on the surface for a bit, I finally managed to calm down. A large pool of blood was already spreading across the water, like someone had just spilled a bottle of red dye. It rippled out through the seawater, wave by wave, a shocking, terrifying crimson. Where is all this blood coming from? I frantically looked around, but there was no sign of that woman anywhere. Oh no, those guys earlier said she was injured. Could all this blood be hers? This is definitely not a simple situation. Who knows when those guys will catch up to us? If I get involved in this, I'm definitely asking for trouble. But if I don't save her, she's going to drown for sure. The two thoughts tore at my conscience. Finally, I squeezed my eyes shut in frustration and dove under. I quickly spotted her in the water. Found her, I swam toward her. I used every ounce of my strength to drag her to shore. I have no idea where we are. looking at the fishing nets hanging in front of the houses. This must be a fishing village. My eyes quickly locked onto one of the houses. It was the closest one and the fastest to reach. I decided to go there for help. I'll be right back to save you. I laid her down on the ground, not caring whether she could hear me or not. I ran up to the wooden house alone and knocked. "Excuse me, is anyone home? I need help. Hello? Anyone? Please open the door." A moment later, the door creaked open, revealing a kind, elderly face. The old woman looked a bit surprised. Who are you?" "Hello, ma'am. My plane crashed. Someone fell into the ocean and is severely injured. I really need your help, please." The old woman was startled. She looked toward the figure lying on the beach and called out into the house. "Old man, come out quick. We need to save someone." An old fisherman hurried outside. Without a word, he helped carry her inside. "Young man, your woman is badly hurt. This looks like a gunshot wound." "Yes. We ran into hijackers on the plane. Not only did they rob us of everything, they also took a few shots at us." At the mention of robbers, the old man slapped his thigh in indignation. "What is this world coming to? Wait here a moment. I have a very effective family remedy. No matter how bad the wound is, just apply this. It'll definitely heal by tomorrow." "Is it really that miraculous? This is the first time I've heard of such a medicine." The old woman smiled and said, "His family has been fishing for generations. Last time, a big fish took a whole chunk of flesh out of his arm. After applying the medicine, it healed up good as new." "Is that so? Just hearing that gives me the chills." The old woman brought over a basin of water. "Hurry and wash your woman's wound. You'll need to apply the medicine soon." I glanced over at the woman. She had both arms wrapped tightly around my waist, resting her head on my chest and nuzzling against me, like she was clinging to a sturdy pillar of support. Sleeping soundly. At a time like this woman still hasn't forgotten to grope me. Isn't she supposed to be unconscious? Yet she's still managing to take advantage of me. My impression of her sank even lower. Your woman seems to cherish you very much. Even hurt like this, she's holding on to you so tightly. To be young. In our generation, just holding hands was enough to make us blush. You're teasing us, ma'am. I maintained a polite smile. But honestly, toward this shameless, thick-skinned woman, I felt nothing but utter disgust. She's injured this badly, yet she still won't lie still. The old woman was about to say something else when her eyes fell upon the woman's face. Her expression suddenly turned serious. I noticed the old woman looked a bit shocked. I thought to myself, is this woman some kind of big shot? Even someone in this remote little village recognizes her? "Ma'am, do you know her?" The old woman pondered for a moment. Muttering to herself, she looks a bit familiar. I feel like I've seen her somewhere before. I was surprised. Is she someone who's on TV a lot? A top-tier wanted criminal? Or maybe a suspect out on parole from some detention center? Judging by how she was being hunted down earlier, she's offended at least 2 different gangs. "Ma'am, please think carefully about where you've seen her. This concerns my personal safety. I'll definitely report her to the authorities right away. I absolutely will not harbor a criminal." The old woman shook her head. "I can't remember. Looking at how you two are dressed, you must be from the city, right? Looking so handsome and beautiful. You must be a celebrity couple." "Oh, you're flattering us too much. What kind of celebrities would be as miserable as we are right now? Young man, apply this powder to her wound. When dinner is ready, I'll have my wife come get you." "Thank you, sir. We're really imposing on you both. It's no trouble at all." Seeing them close the door and leave, I finally turned to look at her. I flicked her lightly on the forehead. She let out a soft groan. It seemed I had hit a sore spot. Her delicate eyebrows furrowed slightly. To my surprise, dark blood was oozing from her body. Blood kept pouring endlessly from her chest. Even though I was completely reluctant, I still helped her take off her shirt, for no other reason than not wanting her to die here and blow this whole thing out of proportion. After wiping down her upper body, the basin of water had turned murky. I dumped the water out and went outside to get a fresh basin of hot water. I was about to wipe down her lower half, but when my fingers touched her pants, I hesitated. Whatever, I'll just wipe it quickly and get it over with. There's nothing to be afraid of. But these pants are way too tight. How am I supposed to take them off? I struggled to figure it out for a long time, when a cold voice suddenly rang out. "What are you doing?" I jumped out of my skin. She grabbed me by the collar and pulled my face close to hers. Caught off guard, I accidentally pressed against her wound. Sorry, did I hurt you?" "I didn't mean to." I hurriedly stood up. "Don't misunderstand. I just wanted to wipe you down, so it'd be easier to apply the medicine." Looking at her eyes, it seemed she had gotten the wrong idea. I continued explaining. I just couldn't get the button on your pants undone. In her bright, piercing eyes, an unpredictable glint of amusement suddenly appeared. What exactly were you hoping to see by taking them off? That smile of hers sent shivers down my spine. You don't actually think I'm interested in you, do you? I already have a girlfriend. I absolutely don't have a single inappropriate thought about you. You can't even take off a pair of pants, and you have a girlfriend? What is wrong with this world? I was so embarrassed I got angry. You think just because two people are together, they have to undress each other? My girlfriend and I are very pure. We've never crossed any lines. I can tell. On the plane, your kiss had absolutely zero technique. It was so clumsy, anyone could tell you'd never kissed anyone before. If she hadn't brought it up, it would have been fine. But mentioning it just made me even angrier. My first kiss, which I'd saved for so many years, was meant for my wedding night, to give my girlfriend the most perfect version of myself. I never expected it to be stolen by this woman in such a ridiculous way. I don't need your critique. I tossed the bottle of medicine straight at her. She gave a faint smile. You're not going to help me? Weren't you dying to look at me just a moment ago? Why are you turning away now? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You should know, not just any man gets the honor of seeing me. My girlfriend is way better than you. I'd rather look at her than you. This was the first time this woman had ever heard that someone was better than her. Seeing me stomping my feet in anger, the corners of her mouth couldn't help but curl up into a faint smirk. She gently leaned a few inches closer to me, raised her hand, and lightly tugged at my sleeve, about to tease me again. But before the words could leave her mouth, I saw her lose her balance, about to fall back onto the bed. Careful, I hurriedly reached out to catch her. The next second, those soft lips unexpectedly crashed into mine again. My entire body froze stiff. Stunned for a few seconds, I angrily pushed her away. What is wrong with you? Why are you acting like such a hooligan? The woman looked like a little cat that had just stolen a kiss. She said smugly, You're the one who came onto me. If you weren't falling onto the bed, you think I'd even bother getting close? I've truly never seen a woman so brazen. Amusement was clear in her eyes. It seemed the angrier I got, the more entertained she was. If you feel so wronged, you can always kiss me back. I pressed my lips tightly together. Give me your phone. What for? Just let me see it. I was secretly trying to figure out her true identity. I couldn't shake the feeling that she was no good. She seemed exactly like a wanted criminal. Right at that moment, there was a knock on the door. Young man, it's time to eat. Oh, your woman is awake? I silently protested in my head. She is definitely not my woman, but outwardly, I kept my manners. We'll be right out. Sorry for the trouble. How embarrassing. She deliberately reminded me, You still haven't applied my medicine yet. Saying it loud enough as if she wanted a third party to hear. I turned my head and glared at her, as if to say, You're not disabled. Can't you do it yourself, young man? It's been so long, and you still haven't applied the medicine for your woman? Hurry up and do it. It won't be good if the wound gets worse. Remember to use hydrogen peroxide to disinfect her wound first, then sprinkle the powder on it. I won't bother you two anymore. Come out and eat once you're done. With that, she closed the door. I shot the woman a death glare. She just smiled and nodded, looking very satisfied with this outcome. I was so mad I gritted my teeth. I poured half the bottle of hydrogen peroxide straight onto her wound. It must have burned like crazy, but she only let out a soft groan. This woman is seriously tough. After disinfecting her wound, I sprinkled the medicinal powder on it, then gently wrapped it with a few layers of white gauze. Once finished, we both stepped out of the room, one after the other. In the dining room, the old fisherman and his wife were already sitting at the table, waiting with their stomachs rumbling. Seeing us come out, they warmly greeted her. Young lady, are you all right? Come sit down, it's time to eat. The old fisherman smiled and said, We don't have a feast to offer our guests, just some simple rice and vegetables. I hope you two don't mind. Thank you so much. We've already troubled you both too much. This place has been a fishing village for generations. We rarely have contact with the outside world. I felt really impolite showing up in such a disheveled state. I gestured for her to sit down. She didn't resist and smoothly took a seat next to me. Laid out on the dining table was a single fish and a bowl of fish soup. The bowls of rice were served in rustic dishware. Even the bowls and chopsticks looked chipped, but they were very clean. They must have been used for over a decade. She suddenly lost her appetite. Child, why aren't you eating? Come on, eat while it's hot, the old woman urged her warmly. She picked up a piece of fish to give to her, but the woman spoke up to stop her. Don't! The old woman's hand froze in midair. She hadn't expected her kindness to be rejected. I quickly chimed in to smooth things over. She means she can just get it herself. You go ahead and eat. I'll get it for her. With that, I took the piece of fish from her chopsticks and thoughtfully placed it into the old woman's bowl. Then I picked up a piece of the fishtail for the woman. This is what you get for being so damn picky. This fish is so bony. Take your sweet time picking them out. We should have the irrelevant people step aside. Irrelevant people? I almost coughed up blood. Give me a break. This is their house. You're the one who's irrelevant here, got it? This innate sense of superiority and this casual arrogance, where the hell does it come from? She took my bowl and looked at me with interest. Is it because you want me to serve you? Want some soup or some rice? I gritted my teeth, speechless. Everyone, just eat as you normally would. There's no need to mind us. The old woman finally spoke up for us, a bit embarrassed. I was just about to explain that it wasn't like that, but she beat me to it. Normally, we just feed each other, mouth to mouth. The old fisherman couldn't help but spit out his rice. Huh? Honey, what's wrong? The old woman hurriedly patted his back. You were eating just fine. What happened? While they weren't paying attention, I lowered my voice, furious. That's enough, but she remained unfazed, as if to say, either you feed me, or I'll feed you. I finally snapped. I picked up her bowl and shoved the fish, bones and all, into her mouth. I said through gritted teeth, she loves eating fish bones at home. No need to be shy here. They won't think you're weird. Come on, eat up. I practically poured all my frustration into stuffing it into her mouth. The old couple's eyes went wide, nearly popping out of their sockets. Who still likes to eat fish bones these days? Don't worry, ma'am. Her digestive system is excellent. She could probably digest this bowl if she ate it. I fed her another piece, full of spite. But the woman didn't get angry at all. She just kept smiling at me. To an outsider, we looked like a couple who'd been in love for years, deeply and passionately. Just when I thought I'd won around, the woman suddenly leaned in close. And passed the piece of fish from her mouth to mine. My eyes widened. It took me a few seconds to even react. I couldn't believe she was feeding me what she'd just been eating. I suddenly felt a wave of nausea, but she forced my lips shut, making me swallow the food. The two beside us were completely stunned. This way of feeding each other, it's so intimate. It's certainly an eye-opener. Have we been out of touch with the outside world for too long? Are young people really this open nowadays? She kissed me until I couldn't breathe. I swallowed the food instinctively. My first reaction was to brace for a fishbone getting stuck in my throat, but unexpectedly, after I swallowed, there wasn't a single fishbone poking my esophagus. I looked at the woman in astonishment. She picked up a coarse paper napkin from the side and wiped away the fish bones from her mouth. The gesture was incredibly elegant. I couldn't believe she could do that. The woman finally deigned to speak. Are you going to eat by yourself, or should I feed you? I hurriedly picked up my chopsticks. I'll do it myself. I avoided her gaze and started shoveling food into my mouth. The woman didn't bother me anymore. She casually picked up a large piece of fish belly for me and meticulously removed all the bones. Eat slowly. She sounded like a parent. Her nagging just made me want to eat faster, as fast as I possibly could, to get away from this little demoness. The meal ended in extreme tension. The hostess opened a chest and took out a set of coarse cloth clothes that had been stored for many years. Young man, you two haven't bathed yet, have you? This is the outfit my husband wore when we got married. If you don't mind, please take it and wear it. The bathwater is ready. It's right in that room. I hesitated, not daring to accept. I feel bad accepting this. This is your and your husband's wedding attire. I can't wear it anymore now. Keeping it is just for sentimental reasons. We don't have any better clothes here. I hope you two don't mind. The woman enthusiastically pushed the clothes into my hands. Unable to refuse, I had to accept them. Unexpectedly, that woman suddenly spoke up, saying, "This outfit doesn't suit you." I couldn't help but retort, "What's it to you? Why don't you pull out a better set to replace it then?" I never expected her to agree so readily. I decided to rip her off, demanding payment for tonight's dinner as well. The medicine, the room, you'll have to pay for it all, 10 times over. 10 times? The woman just replied calmly, "Done." A normal person would never pay 10 times the price to cover all of tonight's expenses because it's simply not worth it. But what I didn't expect was, no way is this woman crazy. A normal person would have ignored me the moment they heard 10 times. How could she agree so easily? Now, can you give me the phone? The woman looked straight into my eyes, as if she had seen through everything about me long ago. I clutched my pocket tightly and looked at her in disbelief. How did you know my phone was vibrating? Before getting off the plane, I was going to the restroom, so I put my phone in my pocket. I even zipped it up to keep it from falling out. Nothing escapes my notice. Hearing her say that, I reluctantly took the phone out of my pocket. She dialed a number that couldn't be more familiar. Track the specific location of this phone number. Pick me up tomorrow. As she spoke, she exuded the aura of a leader. I couldn't help but be curious about her identity. She said a few more words and then ended the call. She created a new contact in my phone. Saving her name, she said, "This is my contact information. You saved my life. Whenever you need my help, just come find me." I snatched the phone back, half believing, half doubting. She's the one being hunted down. Can she really stay out of trouble, let alone help me? Don't worry, I won't be looking for you. I didn't intend to waste any more words on her. I was about to go take a bath. In return for this favor, you can ask for anything. No matter what it is, I will agree. I stopped and turned back to look at her. Are you sure? You won't go back on your word? Seeing her put on such an act, I couldn't help but mock her. What if I want a mansion? A luxury car? You'd agree to all of that? Whatever you want. The luxury car, the mansion, they're yours. And you'll get me, Pu Qinghuan, as a bonus. Just as I thought. She's all talk. Arguing with her is a waste of time. I said bluntly, "Move, don't block my way to the bath." As the old fisherman was clearing the dishes, he suddenly remembered something. Isn't that girl the one they were talking about on TV a few days ago? The CEO of that $100 billion corporation, Pu Qinghuan? Yes, it has to be. It's her. I remember now. The old fisherman was mending his nets. You watch too much TV. Why would a CEO come to a remote place like ours? The old woman retorted. She came on a plane. She's definitely not an ordinary person. Don't all the CEOs on TV take planes, flying all over the world? Or The old man chuckled. You're so silly, woman. Lots of people fly on planes these days. It's just that we haven't been out to see the world in a long time. The couple's voices carried through the window. While bathing, I remembered her name was Pu Qinghuan. I muttered to myself, Qinghuan, why does that name sound so familiar? I reached for the shampoo. My fingertips brushed against something wriggling. My heart seized with terror. I instinctively looked up and let out a horrified scream. My voice was strained to the absolute limit. She heard the commotion and immediately rushed over. Before the two elders could even recover from their shock, she had already pushed open the bathroom door and stepped inside. The bathtub was tilted to one side. I was standing in the corner. My clothes were in disarray. I looked a bit of a mess. She stepped forward and gently draped a coat over my shoulders. Her tone was calm but filled with concern. What's wrong? Pu Qinghuan's gaze was steady. Her eyes scanned the bathroom. No intruders. My whole body was wound as tight as a guitar string. My palms dug into her shoulders. My fingertips were rigid. My voice dropped to a near whisper, laced with uncontrollable panic. There's something, she asked gently. What did you see? My body was frozen, stiff. I shrank back slightly. My tense shoulders were trembling. My eyes were glued to the corner of the wall. My voice shook. A cockroach! A flying cockroach! Pu Qinghuan paused for a moment. Then a faint smile touched her lips. A mix of helplessness and indulgence. You're afraid of cockroaches. Get out of here, now! My voice was urgent. Almost a command. Just thinking about having touched it directly sent shivers down my spine. The hair on my body stood on end. Cockroaches have been my one and only psychological trauma since I was a child. The next second, the cockroach suddenly flew from the corner and landed on the window. I flinched violently. My face went pale. I instinctively backed away. Oh, no. In my panic, my hands, which were on the woman's shoulders, tightened their grip. Pu Qinghuan let out a soft groan. It seemed I had touched her chest wound. Don't move around so much. Her voice was still as gentle as before. The more you panic, the more you'll attract it. I froze instantly, sweat beading on my forehead. My voice was choked. Get me out of here. Pu Qinghuan glanced at the dark, dirty bathroom. She frowned slightly. Outside the door, the old man was asking, worriedly, Young man, are you all right? Her voice was gentle. She blocked the doorway, preventing the old man from coming in. It's nothing. He was just a little startled. Then she took my arm and quickly led me out of the bathroom. Back in the bedroom, She helped me sit down on the edge of the bed. Was it really that scary? Her voice held a hint of a faint smile. I was on edge, unable to stand or sit still. My body was still tense and trembling slightly. My mind was filled with the image of that fat cockroach from before. My hands were braced at my sides. My back was ramrod straight. I was trying to force myself to calm down. Pu Qinghuan looked at my tense, strained posture. Her gaze softened slightly. She suddenly felt that this type of man who was clearly terrified but tried to act tough, a man who refused to show weakness, was particularly moving to her. You can sleep on the bed tonight. The woman felt that if she didn't leave soon, she didn't know what she might do. She was about to leave when she heard me say, "Wait." I was staring in fear at something crawling on the wall. An insect was crawling slowly. My eyes didn't dare to leave it for a second. This room really has everything. Spiders, insects, flying things everywhere. Don't tell me you're afraid of caterpillars too. Are you even a man? I didn't shake my head. I was about to say that when I was a kid, I wasn't afraid of anything. Absolutely nothing. But ever since I got traumatized by a flying cockroach, I've been terrified of all bugs right down to my bones. You should put some clothes on first. Hearing the woman's reminder, I looked down at myself in a daze, only to realize I was wearing nothing but a bath towel. I was already having a breakdown, and now it was even worse. I scrambled to get dressed in record time. I just wanted the ground to swallow me whole. Go to sleep. The woman didn't laugh at me. After turning off the lights, she lay down next to me. It suddenly hit me. Are you planning to sleep here tonight? Where else? I hesitated. Two strangers meeting by chance and sleeping in the same room. If word gets out, your reputation? She cut me off. Relax, I have zero interest in you. Besides, I'm injured. Nothing's going to happen. Thinking about it, she had a point. But I still couldn't let my guard down. Seeing my hesitation, she added, "If a cockroach shows up, I can help you. I'm not scared of bugs like you." Now that's what I like to hear. After tossing and turning all day, I was exhausted. I gradually let my guard down and drifted off to sleep. Early the next morning, the howling wind rattled the paper windows violently. I didn't know if it was because the wind was too strong or because this old house hadn't been repaired in ages. Several roof tiles were actually blown right off, crashing loudly onto the ground. As the luxurious aircraft flew closer and closer, more and more tiles fell. Eventually, in no time at all, more than half the roof was blown away. With nothing left to shield the furniture inside, everything was blown over by the wind. Even the windows startled the two. Old folks who were sorting fishing nets in the yard. They hid in a corner in terror, staring at this imposing aircraft. It tried to land from the sky several times, but unfortunately, the space was just too narrow. After circling in the air a few times, it had no choice but to land on a sandy beach not far away. Many villagers living nearby, all the fishermen, ran out to watch the commotion. This small, isolated fishing village had never been so shaken up before. I was woken up by the loud noises, only to find myself sleeping with my arms wrapped around Fu Qinghuan. I quickly shot up into a sitting position, but thankfully both of our clothes were still intact. I looked at Fu Qinghuan. She was glaring at me with utter disgust. You treated me like a body pillow all night, hugging me tight the whole time. Are you ever going to let me sleep? What? I hugged her all night? I recalled my dream from last night. So the thing I was hugging in my dream, that soft feeling, wasn't a dog or a cat at all. It was actually this woman. Then why didn't you wake me up? I was worried that if I woke you up, what if your animal instincts took over? Then it wouldn't have just been a few hugs. Why does this woman have to speak so harshly? I suddenly realized what that noise outside was. My people are here to pick us up. Fu Qinghuan stood up lazily. Let's go. But I haven't even brushed my teeth or washed my face yet. She teased me. I'll take you somewhere else. Or do you want to go wash up in that cockroach-infested room? Hearing the word cockroach, I immediately shook my head like a rattle drum. Even though I didn't want to leave with her, I really had no other choice. I walked out of the old house with her. Outside, quite a few fishermen had already gathered to watch the spectacle. Not far away was an incredibly magnificent private jet. The fuselage had a custom logo engraved on it, looking incredibly premium, luxurious, and high class. I've lived in the lap of luxury since I was a kid. What kind of luxury aircraft haven't I flown in? But this jet, with an astronomical price tag of $1 billion, was the absolute pinnacle of all luxury aircraft. When it was first released, it sent shockwaves through the billionaire community. Rumor has it that inside, there's a living room, a workspace, an entertainment area, a lounge, a bedroom, and a whole array of other amenities. A woman stepped off the plane. Just look at that aura. Isn't she a legendary second-generation rich kid? To my surprise, this rich heiress walked straight toward me, even flashing a gentle smile. I thought to myself, oh my god, is this someone who's after me? No matter how charming I am, how could a secret admirer possibly know that I needed help in this tiny fishing village? But if she's not a secret admirer, then why does she keep staring right at me? The woman took step after step closer to me. If she confesses her love to me in a second, what excuse should I use to reject her? Maybe I'll just say I already have a girlfriend and I'm not looking to accept any other women. Just as I was busy debating with myself, the woman brushed right past me, respectfully walking up to Fu Qinghuan. Miss, I've finally found you. Your subordinate deserves 1,000 deaths. I didn't expect those two groups to actually make a move right on the plane. What, miss? Let me see just what kind of background this woman really has. Why does her background sound so extraordinary? Have you investigated everything? Fu Qinghuan had no intention of blaming her. Instead, she asked calmly, aside from the Black Dragon Society and the Polaris Syndicate, there was another group of unknown origin. Before the Black Dragon Society and the Polaris Syndicate could strike, the enemy had already blown up the plane's wing. Their actions were extremely ruthless. Who were they targeting? She hesitated for a moment before speaking. Their target was a man. However, the casualties among the passengers were heavy. We haven't found any leads yet. After the woman finished her report, she sneaked a glance at me. Who is this man? How could he stand so close to our miss? You have to understand, our miss has kept her distance from men for years. She absolutely hates being in close contact with men. Yet, the miss doesn't seem to be repulsed by him at all. Fu Qinghuan gently massaged her temples, seemingly deep in thought. A moment later, she gave her orders. Find someone to redesign and renovate this house. When you landed just now, you ruined their roof. The woman bowed her head in apology, saying guiltily, it was my negligence. Fu Qinghuan asked the woman next to her if she knew how to grow vegetables. The old woman was so shocked she couldn't speak. Looking at the conversation between the master and servant, this woman was absolutely not simple. Seeing that the old woman didn't say anything, the subordinate frowned. Her brows furrowed slightly. Our miss is asking you a question. The old woman hurriedly replied, I know how, then build her a vegetable garden too. After giving her orders, Fu Qinghuan turned to look at me. I didn't expect her to actually treat my joke from last night seriously. For a moment, I didn't know how to respond. I'll compensate them with a brand new house. As for the medical expenses you mentioned, Xiao, give them a check for 1 million yuan. Hearing the miss's order, Xiao was about to write it out, when she suddenly thought of something. Miss, there aren't any banks nearby that can cash a check. If this couple takes the check, let alone whether they can cash it within 10,000 miles, even if they could, carrying it back would be a huge hassle. Then use cash, Fu Qinghuan said decisively. Xiao brought down a suitcase full of cash from the plane and placed it in front of the old woman. This is a token of our miss's appreciation. Please accept it. The old woman was stunned, trembling as she opened the suitcase. Inside were neatly stacked bundles of cash. The sheer amount of money made the old woman faint on the spot. Wife, the old fisherman, hurriedly caught her, but when he looked into the suitcase, he passed out right along with her. This much cash, they had never seen anything like it in their entire lives. Follow me. Fu Qinghuan walked ahead. I quickly followed behind her. Boarding the plane, the European-style cabin had 8 sofas set up. Audiovisual systems could be seen everywhere. I knew this was the highest-performing model among luxury jets. Take him to wash up. After giving the order, Fu Qinghuan went into the ensuite bathroom in the bedroom, leaving the other large bathroom for me. Xiaoqiao gestured politely. Sir, please follow me. I followed behind Xiaoqiao, about to ask what kind of person Fu Qinghuan was. But on second thought, it seemed unnecessary. After all, once we got off the plane, we'd go our separate ways. There wouldn't be many chances to see each other again anyway. Here are your toiletries. Over here are your change of clothes. The bathroom is right over there. It's fully stocked with bath supplies. Xiaoqiao introduced everything politely. I was secretly amazed. I looked at the pile of clothes next to me. Are these for me too? For me? My tone was a bit sarcastic. Aside from the outer clothes, there was even a men's undershirt and underwear. Just thinking about it made me feel uneasy. Xiao Xiao thought I had misunderstood something and quickly explained, "It's not what you think. The miss requested these in a text message last night. They should all be your size." My ears instantly burned bright red. When did she send a text? Why didn't I know anything about it? It was around 11 p.m. last night. Thanks to Jiao Jiao's reminder, I finally remembered. I had already been in bed for a while by then. Did she take advantage of me being fast asleep? To sneakily use my phone to send a message? Damn it, did she also snoop through other things on my phone? At that thought, a wave of embarrassment and anger flooded my chest. With a loud slam, the door to the screening room shut. "Sir, if you need anything, you can press the call button on the wall. I am always at your service." After Xiao Xiao finished speaking, she respectfully withdrew. As I showered, I cursed her out in my head. How dare she sneakily use my phone? I cursed her 1,000 times over, but I was still fuming. Stepping out after my shower, Fu Qingguan was already sitting at the dining table, eating. I noticed she had also showered. She gave off a very pleasant fragrance. After changing into a clean dress, Fu Qingguan looked like a completely different person. Even the way she cut her steak was incredibly elegant. She was definitely no ordinary rich kid. Just as I sat down, I heard her say that since I saved her life last night to express her gratitude, she was going to give me 10 million yuan as a reward. I froze. Why did that sound so insulting? Hearing this, Xiao Xiao immediately wrote out a check for 10 million yuan and respectfully presented it to me. "Sir, please accept our Mrs. Token of appreciation." I coldly refused. "No need. What happened last night was just me lending a hand. Just consider it compensation." As soon as Fu Qingguan finished speaking, Xiao Xiao was dumbfounded. What? This man was with the miss last night. Now that's some shocking news. You have to understand, her miss never gets close to men all year round, let alone her entourage. Even her assistant is a woman like me. Normally, when the master tries to set her up on dates, she rejects them all with a cold attitude. Getting the miss to date is harder than reaching the heavens. What kind of wind blew him in yesterday? Or does this man have some kind of magic spell that made the miss submit so obediently? I tossed the check back at Fu Qingguan. It'd be more accurate to say, "This is the service fee I'm giving you." Still feeling bitter about it, I pulled a 1 yuan coin from my wallet and tossed it over. "Since you performed pretty well last night, here's a little extra tip for you. Service fee? Performed well." Xiao Xiao was even more astounded. Despite her shock, with her quick reflexes, she managed to catch the check just in time while swiftly grabbing the 1 yuan coin. Otherwise, those two things would have smacked her miss right in the face. Fu Qingguan looked at me with an ambiguous gaze. I cleared my throat and said in a deep voice, "I hope you don't go around blabbing about last night. We didn't do anything anyway. I don't know how many men you have out there, but I already have a girlfriend. So please, Miss Fu, have some consideration for me." Standing nearby, Xiao Xiao was completely out of words to describe her shock. How could the miss like a guy who already has a girlfriend? And to top it off, this guy doesn't even respect her. You have to understand, the miss is a wealthy heiress who has topped the Forbes Billionaire list for 6 consecutive years, whether it's talent or beauty. What part of her isn't absolutely captivating? Yet this man completely ignores our miss. Xiao Xiao sighed inwardly. "Sir, your taste really needs an upgrade. Even if you don't know the miss's true identity, just looking at the luxury of this private jet, the miss is obviously 10,000 times better than your girlfriend. Not only are you not trying to cling to a billionaire, but you're actually kicking her away? You sure are loyal to your girlfriend." Fu Qingguan's tone was impossible to read, but Xiao Xiao could tell that her miss actually cared a lot. This is getting more and more interesting. But miss, don't be jealous. Normally, getting what you want is as easy as flipping your hand. Never mind that he has a girlfriend. Even if he was married, you could still snatch him away, right? I let out a cold laugh. "Miss Fu, you flatter me. I'm just not as promiscuous as you are." Promiscuous? This man actually dared to call our miss promiscuous? Xiao Xiao was so furious she could barely breathe. Yet Fu Qingguan wasn't angry at all. Instead, she smiled and said, "Is that so? Eat up, so you'll have the energy to argue with me." I had no appetite for the delicious food in front of me. I saved her life yesterday, yet she's pissed me off time and time again. Eating her breakfast is the least she owes me. With that in mind, I didn't hold back and started eating. Fu Qingguan watched me with a smile, casually cutting a piece of steak and placing it on my plate. "Try it. It's delicious." I used my knife and fork to shove the steak aside. "Who wants to eat your spit? I can cut it myself." Xiao Xiao's eyes were truly opened. This gentleman is so blunt. He does whatever he wants, acts however he pleases, and doesn't give our miss the time of day. Having been by the miss's side since childhood, this was the first time. Someone treated our miss like thin air. You have to understand, all those other men, whenever they're in front of the miss, they all try to be incredibly attentive, but this gentleman, he really makes you look at him in a different light. After I finished breakfast, the plane landed at Dongcheng Civil Airport. Thanks for the hospitality, Miss Fu. Let's not meet again. I hope we never cross paths again in this lifetime. I decisively got off the plane, hailed a cab, and left. Fu Qinghuan watched my back as I gradually disappeared, seemingly lost in thought. Xiao Xiao, standing beside her, asked cautiously, "Miss, are we going home?" She could sense that the miss was very unhappy. To the company, Fu Qinghuan's tone was indifferent, sounding a bit disappointed. Xiao Xiao couldn't help but add, "Do you want me to investigate his background?" Fu Qinghuan's cold gaze swept over her, as if scolding Xiao Xiao for being too nosy. Xiao Xiao shivered. Just as she was about to apologize for overstepping, to her surprise, Fu Qinghuan said, "Xiao Xiao, I see you're understanding me more and more these days." Seeing the Mrs. Red lips curl into a mysterious smile, Xiao Xiao trembled again, unsure if she should feel lucky or worried. This was the first time the miss had acted like this over a man. Just now, to bring him back. They didn't even stop when flying over her own villa district. Instead, they specifically flew to Dongcheng's only civil airport, just so it would be easier for him to catch a cab. Could it be? "It's only been one night." Xiao Xiao bowed her head and accepted the order. "Yes, miss. I'll look into it right away." Fu Qinghuan looked out the window with a gaze full of intrigue. After getting in the cab, I gave an address. Qingyan Group. Hearing the name, the taxi driver asked with a hint of surprise, "You mean the Qingyan Group located on South Linjiang Road, right?" "Yeah. Is there a problem?" The driver opened his mouth but didn't say anything. This gentleman must have been gone for so long that he didn't even know the company had changed its name. Shifting gears, the driver didn't say another word, stepping on the gas and driving straight toward the destination. I breathed in the air outside the window. "Dongcheng, I'm finally back." The wind blowing against my face brought a truly familiar feeling. I'm in a really good mood. Oh, I just remembered I haven't texted my parents yet. Forget it. I'll just show up in person later. I'll give them a nice surprise. Today is Lu Nianian's birthday. The gift I spent so much time preparing for her got lost when I jumped out of the plane. I feel a little annoyed. That woman who stole my first kiss, if it weren't for her, I wouldn't have gotten into all this trouble. I take out my phone and call a bakery. "Excuse me, do you have any ready-made cakes right now?" "Oh, young Master Yan, is that you?" The receptionist almost dropped her phone. For the past 10+ years, all of the Yan family's desserts and pastries have been ordered from this place. So, she knew the phone numbers of every member of the Yan family by heart. But the reason she was so shocked now was because she hadn't seen this number pop up in 3 years. "That's right. I'm back in the country, and I'd like to order your largest cake. Can you have it ready today?" "Is this for Miss Lu, by any chance?" At this time of year, the entire Yan family was always ordering cakes for Lu Nianian. Everyone at the bakery knew it. However, the receptionist felt she needed to remind me of something. The second young master of the Yan family has already sent a cake over. I didn't expect Yan Yibai to be so thoughtful. This half-brother of mine is usually always thinking of me. He even took care of a small detail like ordering the cake himself. Thinking of this, I smiled, relieved. In that case, I don't need one. There's no shame in showing up empty-handed. After all, we're all family. With that thought, I gazed out the window at the passing scenery. The closer we got to my family's corporation, the more beautiful the landscape became. You have to understand, my family's corporation is one of the largest enterprises in Dongcheng. Just as I was lost in thought, the taxi slowly came to a stop. We've arrived. I paid the fare and got out. It was only when I got out that I realized, why has the name changed? Qingxi Group? What's this? I looked around, half in doubt, half in belief. This is clearly the Yan family's territory. All the architecture is exactly the same as before. But I still don't understand this name. 2 employees wearing work badges hurriedly walked past me. "Didn't CEO Yan say yesterday?" "He's not here today. We need to follow up on this plan closely. CEO Yan is so experienced. Under his leadership, profits have multiplied over the past 3 years." "That's right." I quickly stopped one of them. "Wait, excuse me. Is the CEO Yan you're talking about Yan Yuandong?" Yes, that's right. The two of them gave a forced smile. Then it's nothing. Sorry to bother you. They looked at me strangely. I hurried on. So my family's company just changed its name. The doubts and unease that had been building up inside me were finally laid to rest. I walked through the corporation's gates. Hello, sir. Who are you looking for? The receptionist saw someone approaching. She immediately stood up respectfully. Flashing a sweet smile, she greeted me. Hello. My name is Yan Shen. I'm Yan Yuandong's son, and the executive director of this corporation. Could you please inform him for me? Just tell him I'm back in the country and would like to go up. The moment I finished speaking, the woman suddenly burst out laughing. Her earlier respectful demeanor vanished, replaced by contempt. Sir, are you sure you're in the right place? The Yan Group has only one executive director, and that is our Yan Yuandong. Seo Yan, you say you're his son? Seo Yan also has only one son, and that is our Yan Yibai. Chairman Yan, buddy, you should at least do your homework before you lie. I was completely baffled. Yan Yibai is the chairman now? 3 years ago, when my grandfather passed away, the lawyer made it very clear when he read the will. 80% of the shares of Qingyan Group and the Yan family's tens of billions in assets were to be fairly competed for by me and my father, Yan Yuandong. Whoever met the conditions of inheritance first would have the right to inherit. Before the inheritance was officially settled according to the will, my father and I were both executive directors of this corporation, managing its affairs together. The will didn't mention Yan Yibai even once. How could Yan Yibai have any part in this? I smiled and asked, I think there must be some misunderstanding. Everything I've said is the truth. The Yan Yibai you mentioned is my younger brother. The receptionist gave a polite smile. Is that so? I've been working here for 3 years, and I've never heard that Chairman Yan has an older brother. I insisted firmly. Yan Yuandong is my father. If I were a scammer, how would I know his name? The corner of the receptionist's mouth twitched. She decided to drop the pleasantries. Countless people know our CEO Yan's name. But I don't know where you got your information that our CEO Yan isn't here today, so you could come here and impersonate his son. But let me give you a piece of advice. Being a con artist is not a good career choice. She lectured me with a condescending tone, which I found both frustrating and amusing. You've really misunderstood. I am his biological son. Yeah, and I'm Jack Ma's daughter. You look like a decent guy. You could do anything, but you choose to do this? I bet you were planning to sneak into our CEO Yan's office to steal something, right? You look pretty convincing in that fake designer suit. I can't believe you're a scammer. When I first walked in, the receptionist thought I was some important client. I never expected to be labeled a complete fraud. I'm really not lying to you. My father and I are both executive directors of this corporation. Just yesterday, some guy came in claiming to be our chairman, Lou's boyfriend. He made a huge scene here. How ridiculous. If you'd used that excuse, it might have been more believable. I was even more confused. Are you talking about Lou Nianian? I really am her boyfriend. The receptionist rolled her eyes. She almost fainted. Right, and I'm Wang Xikong's girlfriend. Looks like you're a stubborn one. If you don't leave now, I'm calling security to throw you out. I knew it was useless to argue with her any further. So I said patiently, how about this? Please connect me to his office line. I'll speak directly with your CEO Yan. That's the best way to prove my identity. The receptionist rolled her eyes in disdain. Sir, if you keep this up, I'm really going to call the police. Go on, get out of here. Today is a joyous day. Don't bring your bad luck to us. I pressed on. What joyous day? Oh, so you don't know, do you? Today is the birthday of our future young madam, Chairman Liu. All the senior executives have gone to the hanging garden to celebrate her birthday. Only a fool like you would be here impersonating our CEO Yan's son. Instead of wasting your time here, you should be trying to get over there and see what the real young master of the Yan family looks like. I knew that tangling with her any longer would just be a waste of time. I hailed a taxi and got in. I felt both annoyed and amused. Should I say this receptionist was deliberately making things difficult, or should I praise her for being too dedicated to her job? I took out my phone and called my parents. I called several times, but no one picked up. Then I called my younger brother. After that, I called Lu Nianian, but all 4 of them, without exception, didn't answer my calls. I turned to ask the driver, "Excuse me, driver, I have something I'd like to ask you. Why did Qingyan Group become Qingxi Group? I wouldn't know. I've been here for 2 years, and it's always been Qingxi Group. Never heard of any Qingyan Group." I nodded and didn't ask any more questions. After arriving at the Dongcheng First Hotel, I went up to the hanging garden on the top floor. Because I didn't have an invitation, the two guards resolutely refused to let me in. No matter how I explained, they were as unyielding as iron. They showed no mercy. Go on, stop loitering here. I really am Yan Yuandong's son. If you don't leave, we'll get physical. Isn't this Yan Xin? A familiar smile suddenly appeared before me. I looked up. Brother Hao, it's been 3 years. He's gotten even more handsome. When the two guards saw him, they hurried to greet him. Brother Hao, however, clearly paid them no mind. He turned to me and asked, "When did you get back? How come I didn't hear about it from my flirtatious little sister?" A few days ago, when the old man was pressuring her to get married, she even used you as a shield. She told him she'd only agree if he could mold a man exactly like you. It made us all laugh our heads off. Brother Hao, stop teasing me. You've been making fun of me since we were kids. How can you say that? To be able to catch my sister's eye and have her chase you for 3 years straight, you've really broken all her records for pursuing someone. You're definitely the toughest nut to crack. Young Master Shi laughed and patted my shoulder. Brother Hao, no more jokes. You showed up at the perfect time. They don't believe who I am. Could you vouch for me? Young Master Shi gently stroked his chin. So what's in it for me? Consider it a favor I owe you, Brother Hao. I'll definitely repay you in the future. As long as it's something I can do. Just say the word, Brother Hao. Have you seen clearly now? If you know what's good for you, get out of my way. The two guards never expected that the man before them was truly the eldest young master of the Yan family. They hurriedly stepped aside and apologized to young Master Shi. I was about to leave when I heard Brother Hao say, "But, Yan Shen, your timing today is really terrible." Brother Hao, I don't understand what you mean. From what I know, there's going to be a good show later. As expected, everyone loves a bit of drama. But if the show wasn't big enough, I definitely wouldn't have come to watch it myself. I listened, my mind in a fog. Suddenly, the lights went out. A single spotlight illuminated the stage. Yan Yuandong stood on stage, beaming. I have some happy news to announce here today. It's about my son's marriage. The entire hall fell silent in anticipation. Everyone held their breath waiting. A corporate merger? Since when? I felt a little worried, and at the same time, a little curious. Dad, you're planning to announce my engagement to Lu Nianian? Why didn't you discuss it with me first? Things have already come to this. The Yan family's daughter-in-law, Lu Nianian, walked onto the stage. Yan Yuandong led the applause. Standing below the stage, I clapped along. It's been 3 years. Lu Nianian has gotten noticeably thinner. With a gentle smile on her lips, she looked even more approachable. Just looking at her from a distance, I thought she was absolutely wonderful. And now, please welcome my son, Yan Yibai, to the stage. At Yan Yuandong's call, the entire hall erupted in thunderous applause. Yan Yibai walked onto the stage with a smile. After 3 years, he looked much more mature. But what I never expected was that Nianian's hand was tightly clasped in Yan Yibai's. The two of them looked at each other affectionately, like a couple deeply in love. The feeling of being struck by lightning came so fast, it made me stumble back a step, unable to keep my balance. I couldn't believe it. My girlfriend and my younger brother were about to announce their engagement. Brother Hao quickly caught me. You can't handle just this. The best part of the show is still to come. Yan Yuandong's hearty laughter rang out. On this auspicious day, I declare that the Yan family and the Lu family will be joined by marriage. My son, Yan Yibai, will be marrying the heir of the Lu group, Lu Nianian. Their wedding will be held on the 28th of next month. Today is not only the grand 3rd anniversary celebration of the merger between the Qingyan group and the Lu group, but it is also Nianian's birthday party and their engagement banquet. The words engagement banquet hit me like a bolt of lightning, catching me completely off guard. My mind went completely blank, followed by an unprecedented, piercing pain. The girlfriend I've loved for 8 years is about to get engaged to my younger brother. How could this be happening? On this joyous day, I also have some unfortunate news to announce. My eldest son, Yan Chen, the flight he took yesterday met with an accident. As of today, I, Yan Yuandong, only have one son left, Yibai. Since a Chen has passed, logically, he no longer holds inheritance rights. The company's future business will have to rely on Yibai and Nianian. As soon as Yan Yuandong finished speaking, the entire hall was in an uproar. While silently mourning for me, they were secretly observing Lu Nianian and Yan Yibai. These two heirs, it looks like the Qingyan group is about to change hands. I never expected things to turn out like this. My father announced my death way too soon, making me feel like I didn't matter at all. Even when I was in an accident, didn't he even try to look for me? 3 years ago, I sent a Chen abroad, originally intending for him to study perfumery, so that, upon his return, he could help me manage the group. Who would have thought that the heavens are jealous of geniuses? I can only say he didn't have the fortune for it. Today is a joyous occasion. Let's put a Chan's matter aside for now. Let's not dwell on it. Everyone, please make yourselves at home. Cheers. Here's to the continued growth of our group. After speaking, Yan Yuandong raised his glass. All the guests raised their glasses in unison. My heart ached as if it were being sliced by a knife. Looking at the man beaming with joy on the stage, I couldn't believe my eyes. Is this really still my father? You still have Yibai and me to take care of you from now on. Please don't be sad anymore, Dad. After Lu Nayanian offered her toast, she held his arm and slowly helped him off the stage. That's right, Dad. Although you lost a son, you've gained a daughter like Nayanian. God hasn't treated you unfairly. In this world, with every loss comes a gain. As Yan Yibai supported him, Yan Yuandong patted his shoulder with his other hand. Among the guests present today are President Lin of the Lin Group and President Chen of the Wanhui Group. I'll take you two over to get acquainted. Yu Ying, you come along too. I'll be going on business trips frequently from now on, so I'll have to trouble you to look after the kids. What are you saying? I am the madam of the group, after all. Even if they aren't my biological children, I will still take care of them with all my heart. My stepmother, Jiang Yuying, smiled as radiantly as the spring breeze. I looked at their family of 4 and suddenly felt like a complete outsider. Watching this scene unfold before my eyes, I couldn't help but tremble. I've only been away for 3 years, yet everything has completely changed. Yan Yuandong led them to greet the CEOs of various groups. The family of 4 chatted and laughed as they walked to the dining table, about to start their meal. Having fun, are we? Did something interesting happen? With my sudden appearance, the family of 4's expressions drastically changed. Yan Yibai was the first to react, his eyes widening in disbelief. Brother, you're back? What? Should I not have come back? You're not dead? Were you hoping I was? I mean, that's impossible. Yan Yibai never expected his older brother to return alive. I let out a cold laugh. So, Father, you didn't even bother looking for me and just directly pronounced me dead? I can't even begin to describe how I felt just a moment ago. My own biological father announcing my death with such bizarre indifference. Seeing this, Jiang Yuying put on a half-reproachful smile to smooth things over. Ah Chen, you're really being naughty. If you survived and came back, you should have called home to let us know you were safe. Didn't you know the 4 of us were worried sick? Couldn't sleep all night, right? Yet everyone here looks incredibly thrilled. You don't look like people who've lost sleep at all. I raised my eyes and glared at them. Isn't this the perfect excuse to rightfully inherit my assets? You all must be overjoyed, huh? Realizing I was losing my temper, Yan Yuandong loudly scolded Yan Chen. Is that how you speak to your mother? I know the situation with Nianya and Yibai is hard for you to accept right now, but with so many guests present, you need to save some face for the Yan family. Drop this childish attitude at once. Then who's going to save face for me? I glared fiercely at Lu Nianian. If she could just give me a reasonable explanation, I could let everything go and not pursue it further. But she didn't show a single ounce of remorse. Chen, regarding Yibai and me, I'm the one who wronged you. The reason I kept the truth from you for so long was because I was afraid you'd get agitated and lose control like you are right now. Lose control? I was betrayed by the people I loved and trusted the most. Am I supposed to just suffer in silence without any resentment or hatred? For the past 8 years, even if you had just been honest with me for one day, on one hand you say you love me, and on the other you're having an affair and pledging your life to my younger brother, Lu Nianian. Is this the love you have for me? As I spoke, I was filled with both fury and heartbreak. Just yesterday she texted me saying she loved me. How could she have a change of heart so quickly today? Who can predict matters of the heart? Jiang Yuying adjusted her shawl, using the tone of an elder to advise me. Nianian and Yibai are deeply in love right now. Do you really have the heart to tear them apart? Forced love never lasts. Instead of turning against each other, why not be generous and give them your blessing? After all, we're all family. Whether Nianian chooses you or Yibai, what difference does it make? I roared. Of course it makes a difference. Yibai is Yibai. I am me. I am the future heir of the group, isn't he? Didn't you hear what your father just announced? Yibai is also the heir now. You came back at the perfect time. Nianian is pregnant. Yibai is too busy to handle everything. You can help him out. I almost lost my footing. My entire body felt like it had been struck by lightning. You guys, I couldn't believe they already had a child together. Brother, in just a few months, my child will be born. You'll be an uncle soon. Are you happy? After Yan Yibai spoke, a smug, provocative glint flashed in his eyes. Such a blatant display of dominance. How could I not see right through it? Brother, you've studied abroad since you were young. You're highly educated. Why don't you help name our child? Yan Yibai knew full well how much pain I was in, yet he deliberately rubbed salt into my wounds. That's a great idea. Yan Yuandong agreed. If you feel uncomfortable, we can let the child take you as its godfather. You can name it too. How does that sound? I sneered inwardly. Is this supposed to be charity? If this hadn't happened, I never would have known that my own family could be this shameless. Then let's call it Yan Jianlin, I said with a cold laugh, so that when this child grows up, they'll gradually distance themselves from you. Zhang Yuying shouted angrily, Yan Chen, have all the manners I've taught you over the years gone to waste? Auntie, you should focus on teaching yourself first. I grabbed a glass of wine. Since you're getting married, shouldn't I offer you a toast? Yan Yibai maintained his gentlemanly demeanor. I'm very glad you made it back alive. Nianian and I need your blessing for our wedding. I smiled and said, then I wish you a house full of children, but may your bloodline end with you. With that, I splashed the wine right into his face. Nianian flinched in shock. Chen, you're going too far, no matter what. Yibai is still your younger brother. How could you do something like that? You have absolutely no manners. Yan Yuandong also couldn't believe that. I would act so disrespectfully, but I didn't feel there was anything wrong with my behavior. Instead, I grabbed another glass of wine, walked up to Nianian, and raised the glass. Here's to you. May we never cross paths again until the day we die. After saying that, I violently splashed the wine forward. Jiang Yuying tried to stop me, but it was too late. The dark red liquid ruined Nianian's makeup. I watched as my father and my girlfriend fussed over someone else with such concern. My heart ached to the extreme. Are these still the family members I once knew? I smashed the empty glass in my hand onto the floor and glared at Yan Yuandong with eyes full of hatred. I enunciated every single word. This glass is just like the familial bond between us. It can never be put back together. From now on, we are completely severing all ties. You walk your broad road, and I'll cross my single-plank bridge. Like a wounded lone wolf, I walked out of everyone's sight. Outside, without me realizing when it started, a torrential downpour had begun. I walked agonizingly through the rain, accepting the cold baptism of this world. It's time to wake up. I was such a fool. I need to wake up. The cold, merciless raindrops soaked through my heart. I let out a desolate laugh, feeling like my very existence was nothing but a joke. I laughed and cried at the same time. The pouring rain drenched my body. I was trapped in an inescapable agony. Countless cars honked their horns loudly at me. You psycho! If you want to die, go do it somewhere else. Don't dirty my car! Get out of the way! Are you deaf? Ignoring the blaring horns, I burst into hysterical laughter. I looked like a madman. The more people cursed at me, the harder I laughed. Suddenly, a black car sped through the intersection, rushing straight toward me. I recognized this car model. This color, isn't this Nianian's car? I stood rooted to the spot. Nianian came looking for me. Did she realize she was wrong? Is she here to beg for my forgiveness? I didn't know if I should forgive her. These 8 years of love were like a needle and thread, stitch by stitch, sewn tightly into my youth. Trying to rip out the memories that belonged to her, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I watched with my own eyes as that black car slammed right into me. My mind went completely blank in an instant. It turns out she wanted me dead. My eyes widened in shock. I couldn't believe it. Just because I threw a glass of wine at Yan Yibai, she specifically drove here to run me over? My laughter grew more and more twisted. My body crashed heavily onto the ground, and I lost consciousness. The merciless rain poured down on me. A pool of bright red blood spread across the ground. Miss, we hit someone. A panicked voice suddenly rang out. I'm not used to driving President Lu's car. By the time I spotted someone in the rain just now, it was too late to brake. The person in the back seat didn't even bother to lift her eyelids. Her voice was cold. Find someone to handle it. Xiao reached out to wipe the windshield and took a closer look. Miss, I think it's Mr. Yan. I hit Mr. Yan. That single sentence made the person in the back seat snap her head up. With a loud slam, the car door flew open. Puching Huan hurried toward the figure on the ground, but before Xiao could even react, her miss had already bent down, struggling to help the person up. Miss, please be careful with your health. Hurry, get him to the hospital. Puching Huan looked at the man in her arms. In such heavy rain, what on earth was Yin Chen doing? Is the ambulance still not here? The blood from the back of his neck mixed with the rainwater, staining Puching Huan's dress red. Xiao, speed up. Yes, miss, I'm driving as fast as I can. Finally, Xiao drove into the Xi'an district. This place was known as the most expensive piece of land in Dongcheng, and it was Po Qinghuan's home. Xiao followed Puching Huan's hurried footsteps. The weight of a lifetime's worth of stories seemed to press down on her back. As they reached the living room, Miss was always a neat freak. Why would she let someone soaking wet like this onto her bed? Especially a man. The doctors and nurses exchanged bewildered looks. Doesn't Miss want us to bandage this gentleman's wounds? Get out! Everyone, get out! What is Miss trying to do? Just then, a servant walked in carrying his basin of water. After everyone had left, she reached out and unbuttoned my soaking wet shirt. With a hot towel on my body, she gently wiped me down over and over. Hearing Miss's voice calling out, the people waiting outside the door walked in one by one. What met their eyes was the sight of Puching Huan wiping my body. Hurry up and treat his wounds. Xiao stood to the side, thinking to herself, Miss actually took this man's body and looked him up and down completely. She could have just left this to the nurses, or even left it to me. How could Miss do such menial work? Don't go. I suddenly grabbed the hem of the doctor's coat and whispered in pain. Dr. Zhang shuddered, and his hand slipped, applying the medicine too roughly. It hurt so much that I gasped sharply, Get out! Puching Huan forcefully shoved Dr. Zhang aside. So clumsy. You can't even handle such a simple task. Puching Huan personally applied the medicine for me. Why are you treating me like this? What is going on? Chen is being bullied. Xiao, go investigate what happened? Yes, miss. Since when did she care so much about a man? Also, replace all the servants in the house with men, because Puching Huan had kept her distance from men all year round. All the servants in the house were female. This was also the reason why just now she had personally taken it upon herself to wipe me down. Sir, you're awake? Who are you? I am the servant responsible for taking care of you. Where am I? This is the Xi'an district. The Xi'an district is the most expensive French-style villa area in Dongcheng. Why am I here? Her assistant accidentally hit you with the car. Do you remember? Before I could carefully recall the details, a sudden wave of pain shot through the back of my neck. When you fell, you accidentally hit your head. The wound isn't deep. She has already bandaged it for you. I thought for a moment before remembering the whole sequence of events. Just as I was about to get out of bed, the servant hurriedly stepped forward to stop me. Don't tell me you don't even remember who our miss is. I really have no impression of her at all. After being hit by the car, I was completely unconscious. Who saved me? I didn't even get a chance to see her face. Where is your miss? She went to take a shower. She got caught in the rain today while bringing you back. Without realizing it, I was already wearing a bathrobe. What's going on here? Sir, because you were completely soaked from the rain, and it was an emergency, to prevent you from catching a severe cold, we specifically got a bathrobe for you. How did this get changed? Did you help me? Sir, is there anything else you need? No, nothing else. Oh, right, where are my clothes? They've been washed and put in the dryer for you. Please wait a moment, I'll go get them right away. The servant bowed respectfully and backed out of the room. I observed my surroundings. The entire room was filled with exquisite and luxurious furniture. Even the servants had excellent demeanor and upbringing. It was clear that the owner of this house held a very high status. Even though the person who hit me wasn't Lu Nianian, my 8 years of love for Nianian had long grown into a towering ancient tree in my heart, and now it had been completely uprooted. It hurt so much that even my breaths trembled. Sir, here are your clothes. They're still a bit damp. Do you want to put them on now? I gave a hum of acknowledgement. You can leave first. I'll handle the rest myself. Just as I took off the bathrobe, I suddenly heard a seductive voice. The door was pushed open. I heard you're awake. A slender figure walked in. I can't believe someone would just barge in right now. It's you? What are you doing here? The woman's red lips curved into a slight smile. This is my house. What? I froze for a few seconds. Get out, the woman chuckled softly. Who kicks the owner out of their own house like you do? Besides, there's nothing to see. What's with the overreaction? What do you mean, nothing to see? How infuriating, didn't your parents teach you any basic manners? Barging into a room without even knocking? Why would I knock to enter my own room? I can't believe this is your room. Your clothes aren't dry yet. If you don't want your cold to get worse, you should take them off. Unbelievable. I bring you clothes and you yell at me. What is wrong with the world these days? I shook my head, trying to clear it. Do I have a cold? No wonder my head feels so dizzy. So you saved me. My attitude just now was really out of line. In any case, thank you for saving me. It's getting late. I should be going. Where could you possibly go? I've already looked into everything. I know exactly what happened at the Hanging Gardens. I can just get a hotel room. It's so late. If you leave my place all alone like this, people might think I kicked you out. Wouldn't that ruin my reputation? I thought to myself, she's being hunted by 2 different gangs. What good reputation does she have left to protect? But I could tell she wanted to help me recover. Besides, you saved me once. Consider this me repaying the favor. You can stay here until you find a new place. Fu Qingguan finished, then added one more thing. I'm not interested in scrawny monkeys. Scrawny monkey? Did she just call me a scrawny monkey? Does your head still hurt? If not, you should get some rest. I'll go check if the food I prepared is ready. I looked at the brand new clothes in my hands. This size and style, could she have bought them just for me? At that thought, I shook my head. She must have men staying over all the time. That's why she has clothes in all different sizes. I was about to take a hot shower when I saw my pale reflection in the mirror. Who could ever like someone who looks like this? It's no wonder Lu Nianian's heart changed. Thinking of Lu Nianian, my heart clenched in pain. Our 8-year relationship had become a sharp blade, stabbing me straight through the heart when I least expected it. I don't know how much time had passed. Fu Qinghua knocked on the door. Time to eat. Ah Shen, did he fall asleep? She pushed the door open. A warm yellow light glowed from the bathroom. Steam seeped out from under the door. Fu Qinghuan was about to leave when she suddenly heard an alarm ringing from the bathroom. Fu Qinghuan immediately knew something was wrong. She twisted the doorknob, but it was locked from the inside. Ashin, can you hear me? The door opened to a rush of thick steam. I was collapsed on the floor. Fu Qinghuan lifted me with one arm. Yan Shen, wake up, doctor? Doctor, miss, did you call me to redress the wound? Now yes, of course. I'll change the dressing right away. You foolish man. Passing out just from taking a shower. The moment I look away, you get into trouble. Miss, the wound is infected, causing a high fever. I'm afraid the gentleman, do whatever it takes. You have to bring the fever down. Make sure he's safe. Yes, miss, I don't know how much time passed. I groggily opened my eyes. It's so stuffy. You're awake? Are you feeling unwell anywhere? I nodded. Then I shook my head. Nianian? I shook my head again, trying to get a clear look at the woman in front of me. I struggled to sit up. Does your head still hurt? I nodded. Then I stared, stunned, at the blurry figure before me. What's wrong? Are you in a lot of pain? Let me get Dr. Zhang to check on you. Why would that awful woman do this? You could have loved anyone. Why did it have to be my brother? You even have a child with him. Fu Qinghuan frowned slightly. Is Shen mistaking me for Lu Nianian? She's just one woman. There are plenty of others in the world. My Nianian isn't like the others. You said you were in pain. I'll have the doctor examine you. It's no use. It hurts here right here. Why don't you like me anymore? Did I do something wrong? Just tell me. I can change. I'll change anything. The next second, he pulled Fu Qinghuan into a tight embrace. Fu Qinghuan felt a heat spreading through her entire body. Even her vision began to blur. Ashen will be mine, sooner or later. But not now. Right now, Ashen doesn't even know who I am. The next morning, when I opened my eyes, the bedroom was empty. I vaguely remembered what happened in the bathroom last night. I'd passed out for some reason. I had no idea what happened after that. Just then, a maid cleaning the living room saw me. As I came downstairs, Mr. Yan, you're awake. I'll take you to breakfast right away. That's all right. Where is your miss? The maid smiled. The miss left early this morning for an interview. An interview? Just as I was wondering, a financial news interview appeared on the TV screen. The female CEO of the corporation for 6 consecutive years. The top bachelorette on the billionaires list. Yes, that's our miss. No wonder her name sounded so familiar. So she's the CEO of Shengguang Group. I'd speculated a lot about her identity, but I never in a million years would have guessed this. Our miss is very impressive, isn't she? If you and the miss were to get together, Mr. Yan, you two would surely have the most beautiful babies in the world. I changed the subject. I asked if she knew where my phone was. Mr. Yan, your phone got wet in the rain yesterday. After we had it repaired, we left it in the room you just came from. Thank you. I went back to the bedroom. Sure enough, the phone turned on. As soon as it powered on, I saw a full signal bar. But to my surprise, aside from a weather forecast alert, not a single relative had texted or called to see where I was. Last night, I ran out into that torrential downpour, and not a single person cared whether I lived or died. I stared blankly at the phone screen for a few minutes. A self-mocking smile touched my lips. How could I have been so foolish? I dialed a familiar number. Yang, it's me. Shen punk, I know you're not going to believe what I'm about to say. Lunianian has been seeing Yibai for a long time. She was seeing me and sleeping with Yibai at the same time. Now they even have a kid together. What? That Lu Nianian would dare to do something like that? I only found out the truth yesterday. Yesterday was her birthday, but I never expected her to do this to me. You know what else? Yesterday was also the anniversary of our Qingyan Group's merger. The 3-year anniversary? What merger? They've been merged for 3 years. I only found out yesterday. Aren't I an idiot? Even the inheritance in our name is in jeopardy now. Did you know? Yibai is now the chairman of the group. My aunt is a chairman now too? What the hell is going on? I remember your grandfather's will.
They weren't supposed to get anything. Exactly. Their intentions are crystal clear. On one hand, they infiltrated the group early on to build relationships with the internal staff. Then they waited for my father to inherit everything so they could easily carve up the profits. How clever. That's outrageous. They're looking down on you. This is too much. Just wait, I'm coming back right now to get justice for you. Whoa, young master. You think I'm not in enough trouble already? I'm calling you now to ask what I should do. What else can you do? You have to fight for your inheritance, of course. But besides, how many times have I told you? Don't you remember? To claim the inheritance, you have to meet 2 conditions. Whoever meets them first, me or my father, gets the right to inherit. What conditions? First, both parties must go to Qingyan Group and recreate the scent of the latest line, Ku13. Ku13. What's that? It's the last perfume my grandfather formulated before he passed away. It was never released. 3 years ago, my father sent me abroad to study perfume formulation techniques. Your father is such a cunning and treacherous man. There's no way he would just hand over the inheritance rights to you. He once said that no matter who inherits, they should remember their father-son bond and share it. I grunted in agreement. That's what I thought too. But I never expected that after 3 years of studying, I'd come back to a completely different family situation. So, that Ku13 formula. Have you figured it out in the past 3 years? Not yet. The production process for this perfume is incredibly complex. Even though I've been able to identify all sorts of scents since I was a child, I'm completely stumped by this one. I can only pick out 1 or 2 ingredients. On top of that, the formulation process is extremely time-sensitive. Even the slightest deviation will result in a completely different fragrance. Then, what are you going to do? Your first condition is already this difficult. You've been researching for over 3 years and have gotten nowhere. If you ask me, it seems hopeless. You said there were 2 conditions to inherit. What's the second one? The heir must build a happy and fulfilling family. What? That's a ridiculous requirement. Your grandfather might as well have just said he wasn't letting you inherit anything. Yang felt my grandfather was making things difficult, but your grandfather doted on you so much. Why would he set the bar so high? What was he trying to do? Actually, it's not that strange. He hoped I would succeed in my studies and have a happy and fulfilling marriage. I think he was using the inheritance as an incentive, hoping I would have a bright future. Yang nodded. That does make some sense. I started to worry. My father has already met the second condition. He has a family. Now he just needs to meet the first condition. As long as he recreates that perfume at Qingyan Group, then grandfather's entire life's work, worth tens of billions, will fall into the hands of my aunt and Yibai. Grandfather would never be able to rest in peace. So what's your plan? For the 3 years I was away, my father managed the group. No one knows that my father and I hold the same position. We're both executive directors of the group.
What I'm worried about is that they already see him as the true chairman of the group. To stop me from coming back to fight for the inheritance, my aunt has probably already placed her people throughout the company. She's likely filled it with her own people. I might not even get to sit in the acting chairman's seat before I'm kicked out. What about the will? Wouldn't it help if you showed it to them? The will is at home. I didn't take it with me when I went abroad 3 years ago. So you're going back to get it? Of course! You have to go back and get it, like you said. Kingyun Group was your grandfather's life's work. You have to take it back, no matter what. If it falls into the hands of outsiders, your grandfather will never rest in peace. I know. This was always supposed to be mine. How could I just hand it over to someone else? If this were before, I would have been willing to give this inheritance entirely to my father without keeping a thing for myself. But now, everything has changed. My father is no longer the good, loving man I once knew. Or maybe he was never that person at all. I just failed to see it all this time. I finally made it back home after so much trouble. I absolutely will not let anyone see me as weak.
Mr. Yan, are you leaving? The miss said. You can't go anywhere until you're fully recovered. I'm just going out for some fresh air. Besides, does she even control my freedom? If you leave, I won't know how to explain it to the miss. How about this? Let me call and report to her first, so she won't blame us for neglecting our duties. Otherwise, our lives will be a living hell. You make your miss sound like a wild beast. Is she really that terrifying? The man hesitated, then nodded, even scarier than a wild beast. Mr. Yan, you've only seen her gentle and patient side. But once she gets truly angry, the whole Dongcheng would shake to its core. If she's that scary, then let me talk to her. Don't worry, the blame won't fall on you. Walking down the street, I was about to call Fu Qinghuan. Suddenly, my phone rang. An unknown number flashed on the screen. Normally, I wouldn't answer it, but right now, I had a vague feeling about who was calling. It was probably Fu Qinghuan. Hello? Who is this? Do you still remember me? Shi Zhenzhen? Why is it you? Looks like you still remember me. I must have left quite a deep impression on you. Why didn't you tell me you were back in the country? Didn't you want me to pick you up? I only need you to do one thing. Stay away from me, as far as possible. It must be Brother Hao. He must have told her I was back. Otherwise, she wouldn't have found me so quickly. Right after I hung up, a supercar slammed on its brakes right in front of me. Brother Chen, long time no see. Yan Chen, why do you look so haggard? Did something bad happen? What the hell does it have to do with you? I turned the other way, not even bothering to pay attention to her. How did she know I was here? Was it from the location tracking of that phone call just now? Ever since our school days, this woman has been like sticky taffy, clinging to me and never letting go. No matter what I did, I couldn't shake her off. I finally managed to go abroad and enjoyed 3 years of peace. I didn't expect to be stalked by her the moment I returned. This kind of promiscuous woman chases after me on one hand, while never refusing the advances of other men on the other, living a wild and reckless life. How could I ever have feelings for a woman like that? Where are you going, Brother Chen? Let's go together. If only this man were mine, that would be great. Where are you heading? Let me give you a ride. I shot her a glance, still full of wicked intentions, still speaking without any filter. Even her taste is still as bizarre as ever. Miss Shi, after all these years, haven't you managed to hook any other men? Or has your charm faded? Are there no more men lining up to chase you? Is that why you're so lonely you came running to me? Ha ha ha, I never know what loneliness is. Besides, I'm tired of playing with those other guys. You're the only one I can't get out of my head. Ah, Chen, after all these years, you don't still have Lu Nianian in your heart, do you? I heard she cheated on you, and the guy she cheated with is your own younger brother. What does that have to do with you? Of course it has to do with me. Your business is my business. Get in the car. I'll take you to punish those scumbags. Move aside. Don't block my way. This is the first time I've ever heard someone dare complain about me blocking their way. Yan Chen, do you know that my appearance on the street is an honor for the street? Shi Jinzhen, can you have some self-respect? That's a good question. I threw away my dignity the moment I started chasing you. Brother Chen, you're always so special. You say all the things others wouldn't dare to say. That's exactly what I like about you. Driver, I just hailed a cab to Qingyan Villa. You'd rather take a cab than ride in a proper supercar? Why take a cab? Why take a cab? Zhenzhen really couldn't understand. Why does he hate me so much? There are so many women who want to climb into his bed. He just has to be different. The more he acts like this, the more interested I get. Brother Chen, your taste is getting worse and worse. This beat-up car. Aren't you just playing with your life? If something happens to you, who am I supposed to marry? Who said I was going to marry you? Have you been abroad for too long? Can't you read traffic signs anymore? Do you realize you're driving on the wrong side of the road? And you have the nerve to say, I'm playing with my life. Do you even value your own life? Brother Chen, are you worried about me? Unless you accept my feelings, I'll follow you to the ends of the earth. If something happens, you'll have to take care of me for the rest of my life. Anyway, I didn't want to bother arguing with her. Driver, please, pass her. Sir, the speed limit here is 40. I'm already doing 39. The taxi driver glanced at Sha Zhenzhen while driving. He trembled a bit and continued, Who would dare drive over 40? Isn't that young lady asking for a death wish? Ha ha, at least you know your place. I really couldn't stand her showing off and causing trouble like this. Relying on her family's power to act like she owns the world, treating traffic laws like they don't exist, driving however she pleases. She really treats the road like her own backyard. There were some young people on a bus. They saw Shi Zhenzhen driving her flashy sports car. The woman driving is so gorgeous. Is she really a rich heiress? She looks way better than in the magazines, perhaps hearing the praises of the passers-by. Shi Zhenzhen kissed her index finger and blew a kiss toward them. The young people on the bus started screaming. Quite a few people even ran out of their cars, abandoning their vehicles entirely. One by one, they crowded around her. Soon enough, a massive traffic jam formed on the road. The congestion was only getting worse. Car horns blared incessantly. The screams of the pedestrians mingled with Shi Zhenzhen's fake, elegant, blown kisses. I was stuck in the middle of the crowd, caught in a dilemma, unable to move forward or backward. I watched the ridiculous farce unfolding before me escalate. The anger inside me was about to explode. Sooner or later, I will make those who betrayed Qingyan Group pay the price. Instead of wasting time here with Shi Zhenzhen, with a dark expression, I pushed through the surrounding crowd. Shi Zhenzhen, get out of my way right now. Don't ruin my plans. But Shi Zhenzhen had no intention of stopping. This is the man I've secretly loved for years. Yan Chen. I hope everyone will support him in the future. As soon as she said this, the onlookers immediately pulled out their phones to take pictures of me. I forcefully shook off her hand. My voice dropped to a freezing low. You and I have nothing to do with each other. If you keep pestering me, don't blame me for being ruthless. She stumbled back a step from my push. Brother Chen, I just want to help you. Lu Nianian and Yan Yibai treated you so terribly. I'm the only one who truly cares about you. I don't need your care. I have to get to Qingyan Villa to retrieve the will, but I can't let Yan Yuandong find out. A blinding set of headlights pierced through the chaotic crowd and slowly came to a stop right in front of me. The noisy crowd around us suddenly quieted down a bit. The car window slowly rolled down. Get in! She only said 2 words in a calm tone, but it was an order I couldn't refuse. Without any hesitation, I opened the door and got right in. The moment the car door closed, the noise outside was completely shut out. The interior of the car was clean and quiet. A faint, pure fragrance soothed the anxiety in my heart. Seeing this, Shi Zhenzhen immediately rushed to the car window. Who are you? Who gave you the right to take Brother Chen away? Let me tell you, I am the eldest daughter of the Shi family. Don't even think about stealing my man. Drive! Leaving Shi Zhenzhen's screams and the noisy crowd behind, fading into the distance. I leaned back against the seat. My tense body finally relaxed. I raised a hand to massage my aching temples. It's urgent. I need to get back to Qingyan Villa. Grandpa's will is still there. Only by getting that will can I rightfully take back Qingyan Group and expose Yan Yuandong and his gang's true colors. I'll go with you. The security system of Qingyan Villa, Yan Yuandong's recent schedule, and the staff inside the house, I've already had Xiao investigate everything thoroughly. You saved my life once. I, Fu Qinghuan, never owe anyone a favor. Besides, I won't turn a blind eye to your situation. You want to strike back. I will be your backing so you can take back everything that belongs to you. Shengguang Group is your strongest support. Over the past few days, she saved me from the brink of disaster, gave me shelter in Xi'an district, secretly helped me investigate all of my enemies' movements, and never asked for anything in return. Meanwhile, the people I once considered my closest family announced my death the very day I returned to the country and seized my family's assets.
A wave of warmth spread from the bottom of my heart. I looked at the woman standing at the pinnacle of Dongcheng right in front of me. I said seriously, Fu Qinghuan, thank you. Once I've settled everything, I will definitely repay you. I don't need your repayment, I just need you to win. The car sped toward Qingyan Villa, the home where I grew up. Now felt like a cold iron cage. The security guard at the gate paled the moment he saw me. The master ordered that you are not allowed inside. I'm returning to my own home. Do I need someone else's permission? My voice was bone-chillingly cold. I walked straight in. The guard didn't dare block my way. He could only hurriedly pull out his phone to report. As soon as I stepped into the living room, I heard the laughter and chatter of Yan Yuandong, Jiang Yuying, Yan Yibai, and Lu Nianian. The four of them were gathered around the sofa, discussing the future of the group and the details of the wedding. Hearing footsteps. When they all turned their heads and saw me, the smiles on their faces instantly froze. Yan Chen, why are you here? Are the guards outside all dead? Who allowed you to barge in here? Guards, throw him out. Yan Yibai hugged a pale-faced Lu Nianian. A flash of panic crossed his eyes. Brother, it's so good that you're back. You've been gone for days. We were all so worried about you. Worried about me, worried that I'm still alive, worried that I'd ruin your plans to steal my inheritance, worried that I'd ruin your grand wedding, worried that I'd stop you from making Qingyan Group your own. Ah Chen, I was wrong, but we are true love. We didn't tell you because we were afraid you'd worry while abroad. Can you forgive me? Forgive you. You betrayed my 8 years of love, slept with my brother and even got pregnant, and watched them declare me dead. Do you deserve to be forgiven? Stop spouting nonsense. Qingyan Group belongs to me and Yibai now. It has nothing to do with you anymore. Your grandfather's will has long been invalid. Invalid? Xiao Xiao immediately pulled out a document and handed it over. Yan Yuandong, you forged the will, embezzled billions of the group's assets and colluded with outsiders to suppress veteran employees. Shen Guang Group has all the evidence. Furthermore, the QU13 perfume formula Grandpa left behind, I have already successfully formulated it. Plus the condition that I am single and can marry, I perfectly meet the requirements for inheritance. I threw the original will and the perfume formulation certificate onto the table. Yan Yuandong's face turned deathly pale. He collapsed onto the sofa. Jiang Yuying trembled all over, stripped of her former arrogance. Yan Yibai averted his gaze, not daring to look me in the eye. Lu Nianian completely broke down, slumping to the floor, crying miserably. Just then, the sound of police sirens echoed from outside. Fu Qinghuan spoke calmly. Suspected embezzlement of corporate assets, commercial fraud, and document forgery. The police are here. The police entered the living room and presented an arrest warrant on the spot, escorting Yan Yuandong, Jiang Yuying, and Yan Yibai away. Lu Nianian, as an accomplice, was also taken away for questioning. Awaiting them would be the punishment of the law and the scorn of the world. The wicked finally got their retribution. They exhausted every scheme to rob me of everything, only to end up in prison. I stood in the empty living room and let out a long sigh of relief. The dark clouds that had weighed on my heart for the past 3 years finally dissipated completely. Fu Qingguan walked up beside me and gently took my hand. Looking into her gentle eyes instantly brought me peace. The sunset glow filtered through the floor-to-ceiling windows, bathing her in light. She was so beautiful, I couldn't look away. I will always be with you. A tender smile appeared in her eyes. She stood on her tiptoes and gently pressed a kiss to my lips. This kiss wasn't rushed. There were no more misunderstandings. Only overwhelming happiness and unwavering certainty remained. Afterward, I officially inherited Qingyan Group, restructured the business, recalled the veteran employees, and became a legend in the Dongcheng business world. Fu Qinghuan and I held a grand wedding that shook the entire capital. Our days after marriage were warm and fulfilling. I was no longer the broken man betrayed by family and love. Fu Qinghuan was still that illustrious eldest miss of Jingxuan, but she was only gentle with me. Seeing that I had long given my heart away and was living a happy, fulfilling life, Shai Zhenzhen finally gave up completely and stopped pestering me. As for those who committed so many evil deeds, like Yan Yuandong, Jiang Yuying, and Yan Yibai, they would spend the rest of their lives in prison, paying the price for their own greed and betrayal. Lu Nianian's reputation was ruined, with no one to help her. She had to struggle miserably at the bottom of society, stripped of all her former glamour. The sunlight shone on the silhouettes of Fu Qinghuan and me leaning against each other. I finally understood that the plane crash was a disaster, but also a blessing. It helped me break away from those hypocrites, to meet the person truly worth cherishing. The good will eventually be rewarded. The wicked will naturally face their retribution. As for Fu Qinghuan and me, holding hands and keeping each other company is the most perfect ending to this life.